Hello, I'm Richard Kitchens, owner of Sports Gallery here on the Court Square in Hamilton. I'd like to invite everyone down to see the huge selection of new spring arrivals in clothing and name brand shoes.
All right, number 3, a recommendation to approve the minutes of the March 9th, 2026 meeting.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor? Kate and I.
Yes, aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Number 4, recommendation to approve the March 2026 financial report, and we need to table that till next month, and I'll let Eric tell a little bit why.
So this month when we got ready to do our financial report, y'all know we always send all of our documentation to the lady that handles our bank reconciliations. And she updates QuickBooks. When we got everything to her, she was really waiting on the accountants, and y'all know what accounting was like in the last week. They didn't have a chance to help her with trying to figure out how to handle some bad debt. So if y'all remember, most of you, I know I explained it in that letter, but 2 years ago when the accountants came in to do our audits, nothing had ever been written off for bad debt for the whole time that the water authority has been in business. So they wrote off, I want to say it was about $80,000 back then of bad debt that had accumulated since 1989 or 1990. Nothing's been written off since then. So what she's been doing every month is she's been just carrying that over and adjusting the numbers, which is, it's understandable. It's just what she had to do to make the numbers work out. In the accounting system, that bad debt's always going to be there. And she had to adjust it off every month on her books to make it look right. She was ready for that to be taken care of and done correctly. She put that back on the accountants. They didn't get it done because last week was a big week for them. So now they're working on trying to get that fixed and get that bad debt written off. Phyllis and I have talked to a few people. There may be some avenues for us to try to recoup some of that bad debt that we're going to try to look at. That's new for us here. That's not been done here. I want y'all to bear with us a little bit on getting a system in place to try to recoup some of that money. But just like Steve mentioned today, in the water business, you're going to get stuck with bad debt. People do that to you. That's what we're working with. That's the reason I couldn't get y'all good numbers. We can go in there if y'all want to. Our revenues were basically the same. Our expenses were the same. Everything was normal on our books this month. It's just that bad debt that we need to get taken care of so I can give y'all a good set of numbers. So next month we'll be good.
That'd be good. Yep.
I'm for, while we're doing that, is when we keep that, if they come back 5 years later or something, they want to turn on water, if their name, before they get water again, they take care of it. So that's about all you can do.
Yes, sir. When the accountants wrote all that off in it was 24 when he done that. You have to go in the system to do it. You know, y'all done the same thing over at
Solid waste.
Solid waste. So you have to go in the system and you have to go to each account and you have to adjust that account on. There's a paper trail for that. We got to maintain that paper trail. We got to flag those people some kind of way, and Phyllis and I have already been talking about a process to do that. It's going to be difficult to keep up with that, but we got to try to keep up with it and try to recoup it as best possible. The other option, and we talked to Trey over at Hamilton on how they recoup bad debt. I think y'all might have tried to look at that at one point. There's a state office that handles some of that stuff, and they recoup it out of people's tax returns.
You can do it though.
So
If you got their social security number and all
we
that.
require that to set that
Okay,
up.
that's good. You
So
do
we went over to Hamilton. I actually sent Phyllis over there to talk to the girl that handles it at Hamilton. We got the paperwork, is what the address, web address, and the application process to get set up on that system. We got to open up a new bank account. We got to do some things to get to that, but we're working on that.
And that's a good thing. Our problem over there was, we didn't require a social security number. You got to have the social security number, then you do it. what people, these people, usually the ones that owe you, gets a bunch of income tax back. It comes out of their income tax before, you get yours before they get theirs, which is good.
And the other thing about it, it is not a big number. These people, normally when someone leaves, we got a deposit. So we recoup a portion of it on that deposit.
Right.
It's the remainder. It's, most of the time, it's less than $50. But there's, right now, I think there's a little over 1,200 accounts that are inactive. I'm not sure exactly how many of those have a balance, but a big portion of them will have a balance. So it's a lot of accounts that have those old balances, and that's.
Then you got your final bill.
I think if we need
That's
to,
what really makes it show up too.
That's right.
Is that final bill when it comes out.
we need to set a thing as a definite thing that the first month, the second month, whatever, second or third month max, if they, or after second month, cut them off. So, I mean, and you know, you got, it ain't you, we just give you the guidelines and you do it.
Yes, sir. So what we've started, when I got here, so our application says, once you go delinquent, it'll be cut off.
Right.
We know that sometimes people don't get their bills for one reason or another.
Sure.
They may be out of pocket, maybe it gets displaced. We try to work with people. So when we started on our 60-day delinquent list. That's where we would start calling, we would cut you off. If we've done courtesy calls. If you didn't get it taken care of, well then we usually gave them about a week to get it taken care of, and then we'd lock them off.
That's good.
So at 60, we were doing okay. And then we noticed, most of these people, this is recurring. This is it's not,
ones.
so we've worked that back down to where we're trying to do a 45-day instead of a 60. Then hopefully that's gonna work us down where we rarely have a 60-day
Right.
delinquent. And so we just started that maybe a couple months ago. Phyllis does a fantastic job pulling the late list and calling them. If you've got a good number on file, you get a courtesy call once you hit 45 days. And we tell you, hey, you got a week to get this taken care of, and then we're gonna do lock-offs.
That's
So
good.
we're bending over backwards to try to work with people and help them.
Yep, that's good.
We're just gonna have to, continue to work on it. And like Steve said, even though we do everything right, and even though we work with them as best we can, we're still gonna get some
That's right.
that
But it'll
don't
cut it
follow
down a
through.
lot.
Yes.
It sure
Will
will.
happen sometimes. But
That's
you're
good.
headed in the right direction, so
Mhm.
Yeah,
it's gonna work.
we're working there. We're gonna
Yeah.
get there.
We discussed it, I think it's gonna work out good, a little more into it. All right, number 5, a recommendation to increase hourly pay for Brett Holcomb by $2 following him passing his grade 2 certificate. I need a motion, please.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
I'll second.
Y'all have discussion, anything to discuss
Well,
about
we
it?
agreed to that to
We
start with.
did, we
when
all
hired
agreed
him.
to it and knew it, but I'm telling you, I'm proud of Brett.
Oh, I am
He
too.
passed that and we're right through it. He's really done a good job for us. He really has, and we appreciate what he's doing here. Anything else? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion carried. That's good. On down, number 6 on our agenda is it's a replacement discussion, and I'll just tell you what it means. It's County Road 36 pressure relief valve. We've noticed it's been bad. Eric's been working on some stuff, so he's got dig away. Me and him's he's kept me informed kind of where we need to head and what we need to do, so we've got a hold of dig away construction, and I'll let Eric, he knows a little more about it, go over it and what's
Yes,
going on.
So if that's the Mobley Boys Dig Away, that's their company. Like y'all already know, we've had a couple engineers look at it. We've had a valve supplier look at it. Nobody really followed through with it. We've been kind of kicking this down the road, and we're at a point now where we've got a customer that's having low pressure because of it. We got to get it fixed. We had Dig Away come and look at it. They followed through with it immediately, came back. They looked at it last week, got us a quote this week. Their quote, what's the total?
22,760.
22,760, and I think, talking to him today, he said there's a little bit of room, he's gonna try to get that down a little more, closer to $20,000.
That's what was expected.
Yeah,
I
We did.
I think it's
You
time
said
to do
22,000?
it's at 22,760 right now, and he's gonna try to maybe get it around, actually, probably close to 21,000, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And everything in this thing, he's replacing everything. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's a new vault, new gauges, so everything will be new.
I made a comment when we were talking, he called and asked if we wanted those gauges on there. And, because that's extra, I think he said $500 to $700 to put those gauges on there. And I was like, yes, sir.
Yes.
We're hurting for gauges in our system. We need more pressure gauges
Yeah.
everywhere. Our pump stations are hurting, we need them. So
Yeah, I agree.
he included that. The other thing about this valve that he proposed, this is gonna be built by Eagle, is it Eagle
Wholesale.
Wholesale?
That's who it is. I dealt with him years ago.
Eagle Vaults. They're the one that built, we only have 2 pressure relief valves on our system, or pressure reducing valves. That one and the one on County Highway 13, or 33. Eagle built the one on 33. So if they replace this one with another Eagle, it's the same thing on both sides of our system, so that's
I make
good
a
too.
motion to fix it.
All right. Barney's made the motion. I need a second.
I'll second
All right. All in favor? Good. Any opposed? Motion carries. It's good. Old business, about a grant project update and audit. Barrett, hit a little bit and tell us what's
Yes,
going on.
yes, sir. Grant projects, talked to our contractor today. They poured the kicker at the end of 233, middle of the day today. Planning on starting filling up that line tomorrow. So that line will charge from the north to the south, and then it'll back up from that Bankhead Highway in 233, and then it'll fill the line of 130 back up to the north too. And the idea of that's to push all the air out. As it fills up from the south, it'll push the air back out to the north. Starting sometime in the morning. They'll be moving their equipment from 233 up to County Road 30 tomorrow to start 30 and Ransom Holler. So they'll start on it. He said he's gonna move equipment tomorrow, probably not really get started digging tomorrow, maybe the next day before he starts digging, but equipment's gonna move up on County Highway 30 tomorrow, so.
Been good weather, and they've been moving on pretty good. That's good.
The other projects are they're still working permits, state right-of-way permits for 278 and 19. The engineers back and forth with Aldott getting that worked out on a few little things that they're having to adjust on that. That's going well. Our other engineer for the remainder of the ARPA projects hopes to have everything done with those. The drawings done by this week. He's working permits simultaneously, so when those projects go out, he'll have the permits done on them already. Hoping to get them out to bid, and tentative bid opening for the 28th of May, which is fantastic, and that should give us time to get that done.
And that'll be up,
That's 13 in Clint Circle, Roberts Road,
Robert, yeah.
138, and 118 in the south end of 233 down toward Glen Allen. And all of that will be dependent on what those bids come back. We only have a certain amount of money, and we'll have to figure out, we may have to sit down in here and figure out which ones get funded and which ones don't after those bids come in. Or if we get lucky again, everything comes in under bid and we get to do it all.
That's what we're hoping. We got some good bids to come in this time, low.
That's pretty much it on the grant. Y'all know we've done our first pay request on it, so everything's going good with that. We're probably another 3 weeks out on actually getting those funds where we can pay it, but the pay request has already been done, and I've seen some email traffic where it's moving through the steps. ARC project, it's approved. We're ready to start releasing that to bid once we get 100% official notification that we can do that. We got some information back from ADECA. I'm pretty certain that gives us the authorization to bid it out, but we're kind of waiting on NACOG, and NACOG's out of pocket this week with the trip to Washington. I think they're up there with you, aren't they, Larry?
They are.
Yeah, so we're
Hello, I'm Richard Kitchens, owner of Sports Gallery here on the Court Square in Hamilton. I'd like to invite everyone down to see the huge selection of new spring arrivals in clothing and name brand shoes.